So Jordan got dropped off at the airport this morning, and I did upload that long video where it was like over an hour of us just basically shooting the breeze and talking shit about her visit and all the different things she got to do here because it was her first time visiting Vegas and it was my first time now officially a local for the last year because, I mean, when I moved here, like I've said in other videos, in many other videos, I've had family here the whole time, and then my dad's family has actually been in this region, so northern Arizona, Las Vegas, since like the 40s, 1940s. So I've always had family here, but I moved from Northern California in January of last year for a number of reasons, including my health and affordability related to that. So it was cool because it was my first time hosting as a local. And I got to put all my knowledge to good use for my friend. And I've known her since high school, so over 13 years. Yeah. So, like in the video, basically I picked her up at McCarran. We went to Sunrise Coffee, which isn't far away, and we sat outside and visited. And we stopped by Tokyo Discount and all that kind of stuff. So if you're like a weeb and you like anime merchandise, or maybe you just like Japanese snacks and things like that, and there's some household items and things there too. You can stop by at those locations. I think there's two or maybe three. There's at least two of them here in town. And we went from there to the house, and we spent 2 days on the strip, but that's only because Sunday was St. Patrick's Day, so we didn't go anywhere because she got here last Saturday. It's been a week ago. And Sunday we're like, no, there's going to be only really people who are partying kind of out and about, and we didn't really want to be around that. And traveling can be kind of tiring, even if, I don't know, if you've ever flown, it can be kind of like, eh. So we rested Sunday, and then Monday we did Tule Springs and some of the parks around here, around town, which was really pretty, and the weather was like perfect. It was so good. It was so good. And we got to see duckies and bunnies and in one place emus and a bunch of that at the Gilcrease Nature Sanctuary. And the next day was Zoomanity, but Zoomanity wasn't until 7 p.m. in the evening. But I had to go ahead and sign up for my butterfly. I had to sign up for an M Life card to get the rate for the tickets. So M Life is their players club, like I said in the other video. And I don't gamble, but if I go and keep hosting people, right, and keep going to the strip, it'll make it worth my while. And it was good. We went to Zoomanity, and we spent the entire day pretty much going from the New York, all the way to Encore, and then back. So it was intense. And we saw a lot of different things. I may eventually upload some of the photos from that. I'm not sure. There's a lot of photos. I think next time we've decided that I don't know if we'll go see a show next time. I think next time we might actually have like a best friends kind of spa day type thing where we go to the spa at Canyon Ranch at the Venetian / Palazzo, which is a Sands properties, right? And the reason why is because I went there once quite a few years ago with my friend Britt, and I'd never really been to a spa before, and it was super duper nice. And they have like, I think it's $60 still, which is all day access to Aquavana, so all their hydrotherapies. And I dare you to find a better rate than that for a spa that nice. But I will say, please factor in tips. So it's not technically $60, but it's still really good because you can take your time and really enjoy yourself there. And that's, of course, that's Canyon Ranch Spa at the Palazzo and the Venetian, okay? So that's a great thing. And actually, if I also am remembering correctly, when you really look closely at a lot of the different websites, I think there might be comparable packages at some other properties on the strip. I can't think of them right now, but I know right now that Aquavana definitely has that. So we're going to probably do that next time. I don't know if we're going to see another Cirque du Soleil show because it can get a bit pricey to go see them. But it was so fun to see Zoomanity because they had so many jokes and everything. And the day after that, we went to the Arts District because I'm like, you're not leaving here without going to the Arts District. We had coffee, and I and went to Las Vegas Oddities store and the art factory there, where I got to meet Dina, and I actually got an oil painting, and it was kind of like, oh my god, because I really really like it. Now I have to get a frame for it. So I think it may actually. I may have to swap out. I'm afraid that if I get a frame for it, it's gonna not stay on the wall because I lived in California so long that I'm like paranoid about things falling off the wall, even though there's no reason that should happen here because I lived where there were earthquakes. So I don't like putting heavy things near bed on the wall. So I might swap out a poster and then put it over there on the far wall so I can see it when I get up and before I got out the door every morning. So that was really cool. So I'm gonna need to get a frame for that painting. And then Jordan actually got a smaller oil painting. The artist was really nice. All the artists that we talked to there were very nice. Like they're in there, they're working, their studios are being used. Some of them are just for show right now, but these were studios that were being used actively to create art as well. And that's really exciting. I always like getting to see artists at work. It's always fascinating. So that was a good time. We went to Fremont Street. It was super windy and super cold and raining and but it was neat. And after that, we just kind of, I don't know, I'm trying to remember. We did so much stuff. We hit a lot of different places, and then I think we came home after a while. And then the next day we went back to the Strip, so on Thursday. And that way, it wasn't like on Tuesday when we were in a rush to try and see everything before the showtime at 7 p.m. Like I said, we walked from like New York down to Encore and back. So this time we just went in the Excalibur because I like using their parking garage. And we went from there all the way down to the Bellagio because we had spotted a place where we wanted to have coffee last time across from the rotating fine arts exhibit, which has Yayoi Kusama's work in it right now. And we got to see the Infinity Light Room, which was really cool. Totally worth it, I think. I don't know. I like art like that, so see if you like it. I don't know. Go read about it. It's on the Bellagio's website. Oh, and they had just changed their botanical garden to spring, and it's really gorgeous. So we went in and then we hid out kind of in this back cafe area across from the gelato stuff near the fine arts area, and it's quieter back there. And I mean, honestly, a lot of the food on the Strip is expensive, right? Even if you get food court food. And I remember I've spent like over $20 at Nathan's hot dogs before. So when I went to this cafe that was kind of quiet in the Bellagio, and I was able to get like this very nice wrap that had like turkey and lettuce and tomato, and it was like on a sun-dried tomato bread, flatbread, with like this, oh my god, this chocolate cookie. It was super good. And just a basic cup of coffee, but it was in like one of those big mugs, right? With a saucer. I thought it's still like, it hurts me deeply, but it was $30 for that, and I was like, but like I said, it's expensive to eat on the Strip in general. So I was like, well, at least I'm getting healthier food minus the cookie. So we because she's an artist and I'm a writer, so we sat in the window there in that cafe back there, and just kind of, we're just people watching and visiting. We did that for quite a long time because we'd walked so much the last few days before then that we were just like, oh my god. Ugh. After that, she wanted gelato because she didn't have a treat like I did. I had the cookie because I can't eat gelato because I'm partially lactose intolerant. Like I can have cheddar cheese, provolone, and American because Americans, I mean, listen, it's not really cheese, right? But I'm sensitive other than that, so I have to be really careful. So we went across the way. It was literally across the way. Like, here's the coffee place, here's the gelato place. We went across the way, and she got her gelato, and then we sat outside in cushier chairs in the hallway that's in between those two, where people are coming and going. We continued to people watch and played the game of foreigner or American and all that kind of stuff. It was good. We got lost in the Cosmopolitan. And I got lost on Aria Tuesday because I was trying to find the tram and I was making it more complicated than it needed to be. But other than that, all the properties for the most part, I was kind of like, yeah, okay. I remembered mostly how to get everywhere. There was this couple. that was trying to get back to the Mirage that we ran into over at the, goodness, it was at the Bellagio stop. And they're like, how do we get to the Mirage? And they were like really sweet. And I think they were British. I don't know, because a lot of people who learn English, they learn like the Queen's English. They learn the Queen's English, okay, honestly, which is proper English. Linguistic and politics and stuff aside. So they were tourists, obviously, and it was an older couple. And I was like, they were like, oh, like we're trying to get to the Mirage. How do we get to the tram or the train that connects to the Mirage? And I was like standing there fighting, saying something that was self-deprecating to American public transit systems, being that I'm an American, being like, oh, I'm sorry, welcome to America. We build trains to nowhere, and that includes the Strip. But I didn't say that, and I said, oh, I'm so sorry. Bellagio is as far as it goes. If you need to go to the Mirage, you're on the right side of the road, so you don't need to cross the road. Just go through the casino, go out, and you'll go past, you'll get there. It'll be down the way that way. And they were like, oh, okay. And they were like, so there's no, and I'm like, no, there's no more tram. I'm sorry. That's only for city center to Bellagio. And you're like, oh. And I said, so there is a monorail on the other side of the street that goes from the SLS to the MGM Grand, but it costs money. So Jordan and I kept thinking about that couple all day, off and on. We're like, gee, I hope they got to the Mirage okay. So, yeah, that was interesting. I always feel bad. Like, I feel like because the different properties compete so much, I think maybe for different business, which is weird because MGM owns a lot of the properties there. Caesars does too, but MGM does. But I feel like there's not really a really well centralized way for tourists to understand how to use the, essentially they're monorails, right? With the tram system they have there. And, they could have gone downstairs into the lobby and hailed a taxi or an Uber or Lyft or something too, technically. So, but yeah, for those of you who don't know, when you get to Las Vegas, Mandalay Bay to the Excalibur usually has their kind of monorail tram thing going, and that one's free, okay? Sometimes only one side is working. And by that I mean, like, we went the other night and it was like, oh, I'm sorry, the one to the Luxor from the Excalibur is not working right now, so you have to go all the way down to Mandalay Bay. And we're like, okay, we'll do that, and then we'll walk through Mandalay Place and go back to the Luxor. And if we had known that from the beginning, we would have just gone from the Excalibur into the Luxor. But I wish they had like an app where they could update when it was being serviced or something, so you didn't waste your time. But anyway, they do have that, and that's free. So that's from Excalibur, Luxor, Mandalay Bay, and back, okay? And then it stops. It does not go across the street to New York, or anywhere else. And the other ones are from city center. So you start at Aria, and then you go all the way to the Bellagio, and the Bellagio all the way back, okay? It has, like, it's basically Aria Park MGM, okay? And there's, like, crystals and all that, and then there's Bellagio. And that's as far as that goes. So that couple being like, we need to get to the Mirage. I'm like, that's not happening here. Downstairs, yes. By foot, yes. By hailing a taxi or a Lyft or an Uber, yes. But not otherwise. And then the monorail, like I said before, on the other side of the Strip. So like on the Las Vegas, Paris, Venetian, Palazzo, Link, MGM Grand, Tropicana, that side of the Strip. Has a monorail, but you pay to use the monorail, okay? And honestly, I'm just kind of like, buy the pass. Buy the big pass. Because if you're gonna stay, just buy it, okay? I feel like it's a better deal. And please note that all the properties I mentioned for the monorail you pay for on the other side of the street, they don't stop at all of those casinos, okay? They only have certain ones that they stop at. If I remember right, I think the Westgate is one. So it's weird. It's like it arcs around and goes and stops at the Westgate. I think it does it? Oh, shoot. You know what? Let me look, because I don't want to I want you to think that you can go there and then it not work. So let's see here. Monorail, Las Vegas. Oh, look at how easy that was. Yep, Las Vegas monorail. And by the way, the Las Vegas monorail website has, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 different languages on it. So if you're visiting, it's good for you. Let's see. Looks like they have a stop at SLS. They do have one at Westgate. Okay. The Las Vegas Convention Center Station, Harrah's and the Link, so where the Ferris wheel is, Flamingo and Caesar's Palace Station, Bally's and Paris Station, and the MGM Grand Station. So that's where you can get on the Las Vegas monorail. And remember, that's the one you pay for. Okay. So we didn't use that one. We used the other two that were MGM property ones on the other side of the strip because they were free and we were already paying for parking. And I'm a graduate student and I was kind of pushing my budget anyway. And I still haven't received my hospital bill for my back surgery in December. So I'm kind of trying to budget things. Yeah. But it was a good time and she had a great time. And the last day she was here yesterday, we went to Boulder City. And Hoover Dam, Boulder Dam, real name to me anyway, and it was really pretty. Seeing the angels was cool. If you want, like, if you're interested in statues or engineering marvels, definitely worth a stop. You do have to pay for parking if you use the parking garage, and then the visitors center costs money to get into, but it doesn't cost anything, of course, to go into the gift store or anything. Or to walk across it after you park. I think there is maybe some free parking, but good luck with that. And then there's Boulder Station, and actually, it was at Boulder Station because I feel like, was it Hoover? Just a minute, because it tripped me out because the last time I went into this casino, it had pachinko machines. That's what it's called. It's called the Hoover Dam Lodge. And the Hoover Dam Lodge and Casino actually has pachinko machines in it. And so it was so strange. It's like over in this one little area and you go in there and you're like, oh my God. Because there's like, there's anime themed ones and all that. And I'm just like, this is not something that I've seen on the strip. I have never seen pachinko machines on the strip. There probably, undoubtedly, must be a place that's like a pachinko parlor somewhere. But I haven't been there and I haven't seen it, okay? I get the feeling that would be probably more like on Fremont Street or somewhere like that and not on the strip. So, yeah, it was great. We had lunch and everything at a brewery there and walked around their downtown and their historic hotel and their museum and everything. And yeah, it was just, we stopped at Bad Owl, which is a Harry Potter themed coffee house on the way back. And also that day we were on Fremont Street, which was Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Let me see. No, that was Thursday. Was it Thursday? No, it was Wednesday because we went to the Arts District. It had like, we stopped at Maker's Finders, right? But eventually, like, we needed to warm up after we went to Fremont Street and Container Park. And the coffee place at Container Park was like only outdoor seating and it was kind of raining. And we're like, let's go to Public Us, which is nearby too. And Public Us is also a really great coffee house. Like it's one of my favorites. I really do like it in there. And everybody in there is really nice, like the people who work there and everything. And it's very, I don't know, I just find it very aesthetically pleasing in that coffee house as well. So Public Us is another coffee house. So I've been to Sunrise Coffee with her. I've been to Maker's Finders downtown with her, Public Us, and then Bad Owl Coffee over in Henderson. So we went to 4 different ones. And then there's one here in Centennial Hills called Aware Coffee and Tea Lounge that just opened. So I'm really happy that there's a lot of indie coffee houses around the city because, quite frankly, I hate Starbucks coffee. Yeah, it's more like I hate the flavor. And I hate their macchiatos because their macchiatos are a lie. Those are not macchiatos. And I'm not like an elitist about it or anything. It's just like, man, if I'm going to pay that much for coffee, I want it to go to a local business, okay? Where it might maybe the money stay in the town, okay? And that's true when I travel too. For that reason, I try and only buy local when I travel, like when I go to Prescott or when I go to Kingman and I stop by the Beale Street Cafe. Shop local if you can, people. Get off my soapbox there. So yeah, we took her to McCarran this morning, and she flew out. I think she just landed actually back in Stockton, California. And yeah, I miss her. So that was a good time. A lot of what I said here is also on the hour or so long video that we posted last night when we were hella tired. But it has a lot of other things on it too that are like specifics about Zumanity, the Cirque du Soleil show at the New York that's for 18 and over. And a lot of other things too, just a lot of other things. So if you want to, go ahead and like click on that video because you don't mind having some background noise, like kind of like when you hear things and it sounds like, hey, I'm just hanging out in a room full of people. It's like, yes, that video would be more like, hey, come hang out with us for like an hour. Because that's basically what that video is going to be like. It's just going to be pure, unfiltered me hanging out with my friend before I had to take her to the airport this morning. So if that is something that you would like because it has more info about shows in Vegas or Boulder City or any of that kind of stuff, and also just generally us being complete dorks, go ahead, listen in. It was a good time. I laughed so hard. I want to ruin it because there are just some things in there that are just, but I won't. So yeah, this will probably be it for a little while because this week I really need to buckle down and churn out a little bit more orderly to get, like, like when you're in the editing stages of some major paper or like project, in this case almost like a book. Yeah, that's where I'm at. So I may not have another YouTube video for a while after this. Probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, maybe, we'll see. So yeah, I keep saying but it's really because I'm exhausted. This is the most I've driven in years because before I had my surgery this last December, I really couldn't go very far. So I was driving every single day a lot. And when we weren't driving, we were walking everywhere. So the good news is I can now do that. And I am a bit stiff and I had part of my shoulder to sciatic nerve kind of go out a little bit yesterday when I laid down to go to bed after we made that video from last night. And I was like, oh, but it's something that I know is not the same as the pain I had before surgery. So the fact I could do all that and still have a good time, that makes me very, very happy. So it's good news. I hope that you're enjoying your weekend. If you are really into March Madness, have fun with that. I know that people at the casinos definitely were when we were there Thursday. And just stay safe out there if you're drinking and enjoying watching games, like, sports and all that, okay? I don't mean to be like your mom, but I'm also kind of like, yeah. So until next time, all right? Take care. Bye.